Hi, welcome to Coding Class with MasterHun, and this is episode 6. The episode title is Password Generator Mark 0, Part 2. Okay, to start off with, I'm going to talk to you about this password generator that I coded, how many different passwords can it generate? And I have at the end of the program here, I'm going to highlight it for you so you can see that. How many possible passwords can this code generate? And it is a product. So I take the length of the first list, object 0. In other words, how many things do I have in object 0, or how big is object 0? And I multiply it by the next list, which would be names 0. List name 0, and I multiply the number, how big object 0, how many things I have in object 0 with how many things I have in name 0, and then I multiply that to the number of random numbers that I've and in this example, random numbers that was here 1, 1, 2. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 7 different 2-digit numbers. Okay, and then so I multiply objects. How big is objects? How many items do I have in object 0 with how many items do I have in name 0, and then how many objects do I have in the random numbers or randoms 0 list. And then I multiply that with how many things I have in the special characters 0 list, which I think it was only 5, I'm sorry. So let's see here. So in object 0, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that's 6 times 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 6 times 7. 6 times 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's 6 times 7 times 7 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's 6 times 7 times 7 times 5. And so what is that? What is the product of all these lists? And that product is 1,000. Right here in the output, 1,470. So this password generator, Mark 0, can generate 1,470 different passwords, which is a lot of passwords. Okay. Now, how do we know if this password generates strong passwords or not? So strong passwords should be at least 8 to 12 characters or more long. So you don't want it to be too short. Should have letters and numbers. Should at least have 1 capital letter. Should have at least 1 number or more numbers, and should have at least 1 or more special characters, like the exclamation mark, question mark, $, ampersand, asterisk, things like that. So does that make it a very strong password? This password generator, I would say, is better than using the most common passwords like 12345 or 1234556 or password or secret or princess or football or I love you. But I wouldn't say this password generator is going to generate very strong passwords, but somewhere in the middle ground where it will generate passwords that are not easy to guess, but you can put them into memory. You can use them in a memory. You can use a memory technique to easily remember what these passwords are. Or or you could write it down in a small piece of paper. Maybe keep it in your wallet, or keep a copy in a sealed envelope in a safe, or a safe deposit box at a bank, or you could just keep it locked up in the cloud. So that's one of the possibilities. So I would not use any passwords using the password generator, this version of the password generator as is. I would change. It would be a good idea to change the code, change what's in the list. I wouldn't use the same things that are on this list, because this video is going to be made public, so very likely all these passwords have already been compromised. So it would not be a good idea to use these passwords. But this is just to show you how you don't even need to use this password generator. You could just use the same steps and do a paper version of it. So let me just show you. Well, this was already one example. So this is the list of code numbers. So this tells us which item from each of the lists we're going to select. So they're all 0. So that means that because all these are code num is a list of all 0 numbers, 4 0 numbers, that means it's just going to select all the first items on the list. It's because the first item in a list has the index of 0. So for example, in the list object 0, the first item, or the item with the index number 0, is the first item, which is Bill. And then we can see here in the output, the first step was the password starts by becoming Bill. And then we go to the next list, right? And then we select the second, from name 0, we select the first item in name 0, which is Lee, okay, which has the indexed number of 0. So then if you look at the output, we have Bill plus Lee, okay? And then we can see here, right, we're starting to concatenate or join different items in the different lists to the empty string, which is the password, right? The password is actually an empty string. You start off password is at the beginning of the program, it's an empty list. There's nothing in it. It's a string, but has nothing inside of it. So, but as we go step through these special assignment operations, so we're adding, in this example, we're adding the first item in the list object 0, which is Bill. And then we're adding the first item in the names 0 list, which is Lee. And then here we're adding actually an integer, right? So we're adding an integer from ran nums 0. We're adding the first number, which is 33, but we have to change that into a string, because you cannot concatenate or join a string and a number together. You can only concatenate or join 2 strings together. Okay, and then the last step here, we're joining a special character. They're all strings. Spec char 0, which is a list of special characters, and then we're joining that or concatenating with the password. So then we end up with Bill, and then we join Lee, and then the number 33, which we turn into a string, and then the special characters, the question mark and exclamation mark. So then this is the final product. So the code num that we set at the beginning of the program was 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 4 zeros. So which indicates that we're going to select only the first items in all the lists, and the final product is this password, Bill Lee 30. Okay, so this is not a bad password. I wouldn't say it's super strong, but it's better than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 or password or secret or James Bond. Those common passwords, those common 100 top passwords that people use over and over. So we have a capital letter, we have numbers, and we have special characters. So that would fit into what would describe a strong password. And also we have, let's see, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 11. So this is 11 characters long. So it's at least 8 characters long. Would be better if it was 12, of course, or longer. But then longer passwords are usually harder to remember. So you do have to keep that in mind. So to finish off, how could we make, there's many ways that we could make password generator mark 0 stronger. And the simplest ways to do it would be to just add more items to each list. So the list object 0 only has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. But if I can demonstrate to you right now, right? If we add, what are we going to add? Let's add, I can't think of anything right now, my mind's a blank. Let's add, okay, gold, right? Gold, and then we could add silver, right? Oops, silver. So object 0 is now a list that has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So now it has 8 items in the list instead of before it was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now it has 2 more items. So now if we rerun the program, although the password won't change, the password will be the same. It's still BLD33 ? But look, now we have instead of 1,470 possible passwords, now we have 1,960 possible passwords. So just by adding more items to the list, in each of the lists, we can generate more possible passwords, and so it would be harder to figure out which password it is. It would be because there's more possibilities. So that would be a really simple way of making this password generator better by increasing the number of possible passwords it can generate. Okay, thank you for watching this video, and I hope to meet you again in the next video. Thank you very much. Goodbye.